That's what's called a stream. That is live.
Got a dream.
That's what's called a stream. Here we go.
That's why they call it the stream.
See, and I went with, who is it? Elton John. I went with,
and then I went with.
I guess that's why they call it a stream.
It's Thursday night.
And it's Mark, Conan, and Jules. We're not rhyming this one.
Talking to listeners, reading their questions,
Tell
helping
us
them out
one
some.
more thing.
There we go. Let's see.
We are live. Kaboom.
Ooh, yeah, did you hear that? Oh, there was just some thunder outside. I didn't know if you
I
heard
did
it
not.
or
No, I didn't hear it. Boom.
Okay, well, that's good. It was just like boom, boom, and you were like boom.
Oh, did I do it?
So, yeah, it was like right after that. So it's like
kaboom. Hi, Draven. Kaboom. So yeah, warning. Marconan's having a thunderstorm. So if there's the thunder boom,
Thunder.
the thunder rolls.
And the lightning strikes.
And the London, yeah. Tauren Think Tank went live on Twitch. Gee, I knew that. Internet.
Okay, good. I was testing the chat room, or testing my ability to see the chat room.
Yes.
Yay, and I got that tweet as well. Because I didn't see anybody else's chat yet.
Cool. I see Draven. Draven just made a mention there.
Okay. Was it after what I said or before?
Yeah. Do you see him now?
Okay, there he is.
Okay.
Yeah, I see him now.
There we go. Hi, kids. How are we today?
How was Guardians of the Galaxy, Draven? I saw you went earlier. I hope you enjoyed it.
Did you go today?
Yeah.
He went today? Yeah, I saw it Saturday morning.
I saw it Saturday night.
Saturday.
Yeah, I was thinking the same song.
Welcome to the brain that is shared by the two of us.
Oh, man.
It's your birthday? Oh, that's right. Today is your birthday. Happy birthday.
It is.
I forgot. Happy birthday to you. Ba, ba, ba. Happy birthday to you. Ba, ba, ba.
Bum, 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 bum.
I started too high, so trying to finish that off would be bad. So
Happy birthday, Draven. Happy birthday to you.
You sound like you just sucked helium.
Well, I've been muddled just a little bit.
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah. Stray hair, where are you? You know that thing? Well, you don't know because you don't have the long hair. But that thing when you have a hair that's like right somewhere where you just don't want it to be. Sometimes it gets caught in your glasses. Sometimes it is like behind my, well, right now it was like hung around the ear cups and like.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, where is it? I'm going to claw my face off.
Yeah, I got rid of a good bit of them about 2 hours ago. I was getting fed up with the mop, so I got a haircut.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, just get rid of it.
Take it away. Make it go away. Oh, BlizzCon weekend. But see, you can be celebrating your birthday with tons of BlizzCon news. Hi, Kaya.
Yeah.
Hi, Kaya Finn. Yeah, so it's gonna be good stuff. Like good stuff.
Yeah, Blizzard likes you so much, Mehmet, that they make a whole big convention to celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I know. So I'll show off my new pretty. Oh, this is the wrist. Not that one, the other one. This is my new creation that I finished this evening, actually, right before the show. Alliance inspired. And I had fun with
the
this
Alliance.
one. Yeah, this was a new weave that I learned. And I really enjoyed doing it because it was like one of those things where I'm like, it's driving me crazy. I can't figure. Oh, I figured it out. it should be super easy, and then it wasn't, and then it was. So hi, nevermore.
It wasn't, then it was. Hey, nevermore.
That is like 90% of chainmail stuff. It's like, that should not be so hard. I should be able to do that just fine. And then you start doing it, and you're like, it's really hard. Why can't I figure this out? Or how can I get this to move better? And then you finally figure it out, and you're like, half the time it's like you follow the tutorial, and the tutorial tells you to do it one way, and you're like, no, if I do it this way, it'd be so much easier for me. And then it's like, it's so much easier. So it's pretty cool. You want to slash moo? You cannot. There is a rule in this chat room that you cannot slash moo us.
People break it all the time, though.
I know. We let them.
They tend to. Or they slip it in, like, covertly.
Yeah, they covertly slip it in, or I stick it in there in the thing, and that sounded dirty. I stick it into the show notes.
I wasn't going to say anything, but you just kept on going. So...
It's more of a guideline than an extra rule. Yeah, you're right, Draven, but
they're more like guidelines.
Yeah, it's like why is my thing not refreshing? Hold on. Tough nuggets.
Tough cookies.
Tough nuggets. Are you working now? Now you're working. Okay.
Are you working?
Yes. My dashboard for Twitch wasn't showing the video. I could see the chat. Chat was moving, but the video wasn't moving, so I didn't see.
Yeah, it's still. Yeah, mine still shows this as offline, but the chat room works.
Yeah, I'm. It's getting dashboard is pretty cool because I can see how long we're live, and I can see how many viewers we have, and it's great, so, but when the video wasn't running, and I'm like, well, they're obviously hearing what I'm saying, so it's clearly running, but
yeah, we got something going on, but I don't know what.
Something's happening.
They can hear us.
Oh, you want some call your mother? Is that what you want?
Call your mother.
There you go.
Call your mother.
Call your mother. I talked to my mother. It was pretty fun. She texted me today. She got her necklace, the one I made her for Mother's Day.
Aww.
That thing took me 10 hours to make. It was a long day. And I started it on Friday night, and then I worked on it a little bit on Saturday, but I was super tired Saturday, so I took I took a nap, and I didn't sleep well because Spike wasn't doing well. Well, he was fine. He was just not sleeping well the night before. He was really, really skittish. Yeah. And then, so I slept a lot on whatchamacallit, Saturday. And then on Sunday, I got up at like 8 o'clock. I did my errands, and I'm like, I'm working on this necklace, and I got to get it done today because it's due. I got to mail it. It's Mother's Day next weekend. So I worked on that from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. with some breaks in between, like getting up to stretch and eat. And yeah. So, I mean, total amount was probably about 10 hours of actual work. But I got this thing done, and I was just like, I took the shittiest pictures of that thing. I just wanted to like post them and be like, I did this. But but it was like this. They were like the worst pictures, and I'm like, "What were you thinking, you idiot? Like, why would you take such bad pictures of that necklace? You suck." So
you could always have Papa Jules take pictures of her wearing it.
Yeah, exactly. Then I could share it with her wearing them. She texted me today. She's like, "I love it, honey." She asked for it though, so it was like she asked for the style. She asked for the colors. I showed her what I was thinking about doing, and she goes, "Yes, that," and so I made it. So she knew what it was, but yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm planning on. It won't be this weekend because of. Okay, good. She's not in the chat, but for Mother's Day, I'm gonna take my mom to down to where I used to work. There's really good restaurants down there. There's a really good German place, and so I want to take her down there and just show her the city, and take her to dinner and all that stuff.
Nice.
So I'm trying for Memorial Day because I don't work on Mondays anyway, and I don't know if her office is open. But if it's not, then we'll just go down there that day.
That sounds perfect.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I like it. Yeah, you've talked about this German place before. It sounds awesome.
Oh, it is so good. Oh my goodness! And they have polka on Friday and Saturday nights. They have a lady that plays the accordion, a guy who has a tuba, and they play polka music.
That is so cool.
I mean, yeah, it's the food is so good. The beer is good. The food is good.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you like that place that we went here in Minnesota, right by Pat's house, where the one we had outside where we had the fried pickles and the cheese curds when you were here. Yeah, that's the place that we had the meetup at. I don't know if you made the connection.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it was
from the pictures. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had forgotten originally that you were there with us, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, we took you there when you were here for the thing last year, for the movie thing." Yar. Have the polka band. The chicken dance is like the quintessential Wisconsin thing, man. Like if you don't do the chicken dance, I mean, you can do the chicken dance in Arkansas. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I seem to remember they might have played it at some point, but when you're like elbow deep in dinner, you don't really want to stand up and dance.
It's the chicken dance, Marconin. You stop for the chicken dance.
When it goes between chicken dance and the schnitzel I'm eating.
Schnitzel, I know.
Yeah, survey says schnitzel.
Schnitzel.
Yeah.
Oddish, thank you for the host, hon. Thank you so much.
Ooh.
That is awesome.
All right.
All right. We got some oddites in here tonight. We'll say hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello. Wares, thank you for the host. Very, very much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Always schnitzel. Schnitzel is like the best. If you ever go to Epcot in Disney,
oh my goodness,
go to the German place there.
Oh,
they have the biggest buffet you've ever seen, and it's all German food, and it's amazing.
It is. It's like big long tables, so you get to sit next to strangers.
Yep.
It's not bad.
And no, it's like
everybody's there
at
Disney. Everybody's happy. Like, can you believe the size of this pretzel? It's as big as a steering wheel. Maybe not, but it's it's so good.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh.
So, shall we, let's test the chat room, by the way. Hello, everybody who's come in, so I haven't said hello. Hi, Soul Mio. Hello, Bim. Welcome. And welcome to all who are watching. We are ready to do the show in just a moment. We are going to test out the sounders and make sure everything is working. First, let's do a ready check.
I'm ready.
Are you ready? Hi, Hachikumo. It's good to see you, my friend. Y'all ready for a pool? Oh, today, Leroy Jenkins turns 12 years old. Yay.
Yeah.
Do you do Leroy Jenkins? Hi, Tiber.
Can I do Leroy Jenkins?
Do you do Leroy Jenkins?
I don't do it justice. So.
Okay. Leroy Jenkins.
There you go.
That's mine. There you go.
That's better than I can do.
It sucks. But it works. All right, my friends. Welcome to Tauren Think Tank, episode 230. Oh, I didn't change the date on the top. But thanks, Bim. It's 230 episode. But it's right in the notes. Y'all ready? You guys are ready. Are you ready, Marconin?
Yes.
I had eyes down, so I didn't know if you were texting or something.
Yes. Yeah, I am, but I'm almost ready.
Okay, let's do a show. Chat room, we're doing episode... I'm not doing a better impression. Don't even think about it. Tauren Think Tank, episode 230 begins in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the podcast about the Blizzard gamer behind the keyboard.
It's episode 230 of Tauren Think Tank. Today is Thursday, May 11th of 2017, 8:11 in the PM Central Daylight time, Central Daylight time it is. My my name is Jules. Welcome back to another show. With me as always is the newly appointed job. I don't even know how to phrase it. You've been promoted into another role, man. It's Marconin.
Yes. Yes, good evening.
Good evening. I mean,
yeah,
you didn't start, like, you started a new job, but you didn't change companies. So I was going to be like the newly employed. Well, no, you're not newly employed. You've been employed. Yeah. So that's why my brain was just like.
The newly occupationally transient, I don't know, transferent, maybe. I don't know how to put that, but I started my new job. Yes, I started my new job on Tuesday, and it's going pretty good. A lot to learn, but it's weird how, upgraded. Yeah, Mammoth in the chat room said upgraded. That's yes, occupationally upgraded. There we go. I like that.
Save that one for show note list, please.
Yeah, put that in the show notes. Yeah.
But show title.
Yes. Yeah, show title. But yeah, it's weird because a little bit of every position I've worked at my company, all of those skills, it's like rolls down a hill, and I've just gone to the next level. Like everything I've learned comes into play already.
That's amazing.
Like most of the stuff, they're like, yeah, do you know about this and that? I was like, oh yeah, it's this, that, and that, and this. Like, do you know how to? Yep, I know how to do that. Oh, are you? And I was like, oh, do you mean this? And they're like, yeah. Like, oh, yeah, I know all about that. So there's stuff that I don't know, of course, because it's something I've never done before. But it's a very cool job. It's different. There's downtime, and then there's really busy time, and then there's more downtime, and then more busy time. But it's all, it's cool, and it's really cool because I work on a small team of guys, and we're all friends already because I've worked with them before in other places. So it's weird. I'm nervous about messing something up or screwing something up, but all in all, I think it's going to be pretty cool. I think it's going to be good. So I'm very happy with it. And as you can tell, I'm here tonight, so I'm not still at work. So for right now, the show shouldn't be impacted as far as both of us being there. And I have to silence my phone. I apologize.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, that's a ringtone.
Yes, it is. Turn off your phone. Sorry. But yeah, it's going well, and that was not a work text as far as I can tell either. So
good,
they're not bothering me.
Good.
But yeah, it's going well. That's kind of the main thing that's been going with me for the last week.
Yeah,
is just doing this, and I get to drive around, and wear more comfortable uniform. But when it's time to work, it's time to work.
Right.
And I think I like it.
Good. Well, it's just started. It's going to be that transition past the training and all those things to really kind of get into it. But I'm really glad that it's started and that you've entered in the new phase and you're not kind of stressed out about the about to come around phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The apprehension before the fact is sometimes a lot worse than during and after the fact. So
right.
I'm doing pretty good with it. Yeah.
Good. Good.
Good. So that's the main thing that's been going on with me the last week. So what have you been up to, Miss Crafty McCrafterson?
Crafty
McCreate Pants?
I'm Crafty McCreate Pants, I guess is the... I have been kind of obsessively enjoying creating jewelry with chainmail. Like, I am so excited to do it. I spent roughly 10 hours this weekend making a necklace for my mom for Mother's Day, and she knows about it. Like, she knows it's okay that I say it because she got it today, and she'd asked for it. She'd asked for the design and the colors, and so she knew it was coming. What I didn't know was how long it was going to take me with that specific design and how many rings it would take. And but so I spent all day on Sunday, and and by the time my hands were just like cramped up, but I was so happy when it was done. I was like, this is amazing. And so I have been really enjoying it. And as it turned out, I had someone contact me and say, I love what you're doing. Would you make me a lanyard from my job? And
Ooh.
so she bought a commission from me to make a lanyard because she has to wear a badge at work and wants something that, you know, they can wear whatever they want. So I was like super excited. I'm like, really? Me?
That's cool.
So MB, thank you so much. I'll be your rings are on order because we did a certain design with certain colors that I didn't have yet. She's amazing. She's a fan of the show. And so, yeah.
Neat.
So I'm so excited. And the cool thing, which I'm hoping will work out, we're really trying to work on this. And if Nevermore is still in the chat room, she can kind of confirm this. But Nevermore has been crafting forever. My friend Nevermore, she's an AIE. She's one of my co-hosts on Slaying Demons. Dear friend of mine for years. And she makes beautiful perler crafts and D20 designs, like necklaces, and she uses the hair sticks with D20 designs. Really cool. And so cool. And she is like preparing for a major event. She goes to the Phoenix Comic-Con every year, and she sells with her friends at a booth, and she's there all weekend, and she needs to build up her inventory. So she said to me, she sent me a message, and she said, Jules, do you want to maybe do a dual crafting stream where, you know, to kind of light a fire under my butt to like plan on doing it and get it done, and then we can stream what we're doing and we can talk about it and we can hang out with people and we can hang out with each other. And I'm like, yeah, that'd be super cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna try doing that. Maybe Sunday we'll try it. I don't know exactly how well it'll work. I don't know how. I gotta figure out the setup. My dear friend who is amazing, Pat Crane, has like all the equipment in the world. So he had an extra camera and he had an extra tripod, and he's like, just take them and go. And so I went over there and picked them up today, and because I was trying to like figure out how to do it. So if you want to watch this stream, you can. It's most likely going to be on Sunday. You can follow my Twitch channel, which is Jules RPG. And I will probably do a host from the Tauren Think Tank Twitch too. So so that's kind of what I've been up to. And on top of, like, we're really heavy into getting the Kickstarter together for the CTR party. And that lovely thing is launching on May 25th. And so, yeah, I am like, oh, because there's just so much that has to go into, like, developing a Kickstarter. And we're getting the last of the reward designs together and the things that we're going to offer and all of that stuff. And we have an amazing team of artists this year. I'm so excited to show you guys what we have. And so, but yeah, so that has been like all that. We got all this stuff going on for the shows. I've got other stuff working on that I can't talk about yet. And so, yeah, it's been really, really, really cool. It's like life is good. I you know, my 1 month away from closing on my condo. And I'm just like, I gotta figure out when to move in all this too. So there's that too. We'll have to figure that out, but it's coming. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
When's the housewarming party?
I know, right? I need to do this, but we might have to like do like a virtual housewarming party from like Nerdtacular. Like we just have like this big party, but it's like we're not actually in the condo. We're just here.
Just imagine that you are. Here's pictures of it. Here's what it looks like.
Pictures
just
around.
Like, we could get like a green screen, and then like stream it or something, and just pretend like we're in your room. Like, oh yeah, this living room is great. How come the scenery never changes? Oh, because the camera is. We're not on a green screen. What are you talking about? And then like Terpster walks by. He's like, what are you guys doing at the green screen?
We're Nothing? Pretending. Don't worry about it.
Shh. We told you about this.
Oh, yeah. No, Terpster would totally be in on that joke. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's so cool. Yeah. So yeah, there's just a lot going on, but stuff is awesome. Life is happy. And, the thing about crafting, I just wanted to say is a lot of people have actually sent me a message and said that they were inspired by what I was showing on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and they were inspired enough to try it for themselves. And I think that's some of the nicest compliments that I could get, because like, who am I? I'm nobody when it comes to like crafting. There's so many amazing chainmail artists out there, and I am just like, I just started like a month and a half ago, but I have so much joy out of making stuff, and I share it with people, and they tell me that they want to go do the same thing, and I'm like, yes, go out there and create stuff, because it makes you feel good. It just makes you feel good. And my creative brain is so much more, it's just well shaped. I feel like new ideas pop kind of more easily now because I'm constantly thinking I'm like exercising that side of my brain.
Yeah.
So I like that. I think that was really helpful for me. I look at options that I have in terms of rings and say, I like this design. What color scheme could I use? How could I make that work? What could it be? And it's so much fun to do that. So
yeah, it's like you're looking at it from a totally different angle.
Exactly. Yeah. So like create stuff. If you're interested, of doing something, if you'd like to draw, you like to sing, or you just do something, create something. And because it really does, it changes things for me. I was feeling kind of in a rut and feeling like I wanted to express creativity. And when I did this, it changed a lot. So that's my little aside about it. And we'll go from there. Yeah, we're going to do a show. First, we have to play a sounder. And we have a discussion topic tonight. It's going to be pretty cool.
Oh.
I'm excited. Here we go.
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
This episode is brought to you by WoW Challenges, who is raising money for ALS research right now, right, Marconin?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's really cool because he's doing a 24-hour live stream event on Friday, May 12th, which is tomorrow. It's going to go from Friday till Saturday. It's going to go from 8 p.m. Eastern on Friday to 8 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. 24-hour stream. So anytime that you want to go by and see him, you can do that. Now, it's really cool because if you want some more information on what he's doing, you can just go to tinyurl.com/stoneals2017. He's just like $600 shy. It's probably maybe even less
it's
now.
Really close. He might be like right
really
there
close.
now. This was $600 was like last week. And then
so he's really close to his $2,000 goal on his live stream. If he does that, then at BlizzCon, Celestalon from Blizzard himself, who is famous for making awesome, it's the Celestalon salon, dyeing people's hair weird and cool colors. He's going to dye Stone's beard awesome, cool colors at BlizzCon if he makes this goal.
Yes.
So he wants to do it. Celestalon wants to do it. We know you want to have it done to him.
Yes.
So, Jules, where do they go if they want to find out some more information about that? Where to watch that?
Yeah, you got to watch this 24-hour stream. It starts tomorrow, and it is twitch.tv/WoW Challenges. Check this out. Thank you, Stone and WoW Challenges, for sponsoring the show this week. Okay. Here we go. We're talking about this week a topic that has been on my mind recently and has been really a big part of the last year and a half of my life. The topic is authenticity and honesty. And, okay, yeah, whatever, Jules. Like, what do you mean by all this?
Broad terms.
Yeah, like broad strokes, what do you mean? So, I thought about this a lot. Especially those of us who have entered into the workplace, those of us who have children, those of us who might still be in school. It's kind of all over the place. But we wear many faces every day for the different scenarios that we live and play and work in. And I call them the personas. You have a work persona that maybe not everybody knows all this stuff about you at the work persona. You've got a family persona. Your family, you're a different person around your family than you are around your coworkers. You've got a friend persona, and it depends on the level of the friendship. Are they more of an acquaintance that you would like go out and get a beer with, or are they your best friend? And you've got a social media persona. Who do you portray yourself as on social media? Like, what's your style of using social media? Everybody's different. And I thought about, like, there are a lot of people, I believe, just from my own observations and from myself too, is that sometimes we don't always know who we really are because we're trying to mix in so many different personas of ourselves that you don't actually know who is Jules, who is Mark Honan, who is that? Who is that person?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to talk about that tonight, and there's other parts of it that I want to bring up as well. But I mean, when I brought this topic to you, what snapped in your brain? You were like, oh God, yeah, like totally.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of like how you were saying, who I am in my day to day. Who am I when I wake up versus who am I when I get to work versus who am I when I am, talking to someone on the phone, doing a calling customer service for something. Who am I there? How do I react and act towards people, and then who am I right now when I'm talking to you and talk to others? Who am I at meetups? It's still at the core, it's me, but it's kind of like when you're listening to the radio in your car and you change, you're like, this song doesn't sound too good. So you change the equalizer and it moves up the bass, it moves down the treble, it raises the mid even higher. Like it's different levels of the same song. There's more parts that are more heavily expressed, some parts that are muted. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah.
Unless, that's just for me personally. But I know there's some people when they want to do a persona, it's kind of like The Mask. It can be it can be, who you can't be in your day-to-day life, or it could be someone that you're not at all. Right. It could be somebody completely different. Kind of like when, like last week when we were talking about the guy what was the caster's name, the Twitch guy, the streamer? Elheim. Yeah. When that guy flew over from the other side of the planet and got there because of who that person was to the camera, who he was to his streamers, and thankfully he is a nice guy in real life too. So his two personas, his home and his streaming persona, are not very different. But if in real life that person's a jerk, it could have been a different story, right? But he was just going off what he knew from his persona that he put out as he was streaming. Right. So that's kind of my take on it. Just because there's ways you act at work that you put on a mask, especially if you work in customer service or retail, or if you're customer facing, you put on a big old smile and you talk to them and you are nice. Now I'm a nice guy normally anyway, and I like talking to people and helping them just anyway. But when you're customer facing, you have to, it's all about the presentation. It's all about that other stuff. So you really had some performance. Yeah. In a sense.
Now think about that in life, if that's your job, or if that's something that you do on a normal basis, and, we have the situation where the two of us are doing this show and when you're in front of a microphone, in front of a camera, it is, I will say that's 100%. It is a performance. It is what we're doing. It is like, we are amped up. Our personalities are amped up when we do this. Who we are on this show is us, but on a higher frequency. We're engaged. We're here. I don't talk like this all the time though. When you sit down across from me at a dinner table, I'm going to be pretty mellow. And because I can't live in this persona 24 hours a day, it would be exhausting. That's what streamers say too. Streaming is exhausting. You have to put on a performance, be a persona, that kind of thing. The problem comes in as to when you are doing that so often that you don't actually know who the offline person is. Yeah. And I see this so much. And I hear people talk about it so much that they're literally lost. And there's that lost feeling of like, who am I? All I am is a machine that goes in front of a customer, goes into my job, puts headphones on and answers phone calls, treats my internal customers the same as my external customers, blah, 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 blah. You hear all that stuff in there. And then you go home and, you don't know who you are. Yeah. Because you don't know how to be authentic and you don't know how to be honest about how you feel because you spend so much time pretending to not, be, you're like, if your customer pisses you off, you can't say anything about it.
No.
And so
Nope.
you have to go and you have to vent somewhere else and go, oh my gosh, that woman, I thought I was going to punch her.
I ran into that a little bit today. I was doing some training on a computer at the, behind the curtain at work, and a couple of associates came back and they were just griping. They were just like, as soon as they moved past that wall, they're just like, that lady was just yelling. She tried to return this thing and she's had it for 6 months, and she just like, now I've got to go out there and do blah blah. Okay, ma'am, how are you doing today? We'll just see what we can do. Let me get a manager.
Yep.
It's kind of, I think I remember, what was that movie with Ryan Reynolds? And they were all working at a place that was kind of like a Chili's or something. Was it? Shoot, I forgot what that movie is. But anyway, they're all like servers in a restaurant.
Okay.
And there's it's like a big montage scene. And there's this one woman who is like, she's kind of high strung, and she's back in the kitchen, and she's yelling and cursing up a storm, and blah, blah, blah. As soon as she gets past those revolving doors, okay, ma'am, how was your appetizer? What it's like this whole just armor just comes back on, like the curtains pull back and there's another person just magically.
Yeah.
And so that's how, that's kind of how you have to be in some ways. Because I know, like, especially probably for streamers, before their stream, they're very chill and mellow, and they're like, all right, well, let's go. And then they have to turn the switch on, and as soon as the lights come on their webcam, it's time to go.
Yeah. And
they've got to be that other person.
You switch it on and you switch it off, and you spend a large portion of your life doing that in in those situations. There's a facade, a mask for family, especially family you don't see all the time. Think about going to a Christmas dinner or a birthday party with the family, and you have to go, I have to put up with Aunt Joan again, and she's going to ask me why I'm not married. And, all that stuff where you're just going to be having to like bite your tongue and not say, shut up, Aunt Joan. Why are you asking me again that I'm not married? Don't you understand that I don't want to get married? Like that kind of thing. And so there's that facade. There's a facade if you're a parent, because if you've got kids and you have had a shit day and you want, parents are really amazing people, and they don't want their kids to feel their pain, and they don't want their kids to worry about them, and they don't want their kids to think that there's something wrong with mom. So you pretend that everything's fine, honey, let's keep going, and so you put on that facade. Where do you come in?
Don't even know. I think eventually the switch goes on and off so much that you don't know whether it's on or off or somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. And this is why I've been so introspective about this. There's a couple reasons. But number one, it's no secret. My life changed dramatically in the end of 2015. And I'm right on the precipice of buying a condo that's a place of my own. I've been living on my own for the last year and a half. And if you had asked me 5 years ago if this is where my life was going to be, I would have laughed in your face. I was married. I owned a home with my husband. I lived in a different state, and everything just flew out the window, and everything changed. And in that process, I had to relearn who I was. I did, because it was like And I realize, and I'm going to theorize about something, and I wonder if it's, if other people agree with this. But I think that throughout your life, there is kind of a come to the table moment for figuring out who you are in very significant points in your life. When you're in school, you're a student. And you're most likely you're living at home if you're in high school. You go and then you graduate and you go to college, and now you're a student living on his or her own, different place. You're now relearning who you are there. And then you graduate college, and then you got to go find a job and a place to live, and maybe you live with roommates, or maybe you've living on your own, or maybe you've found a boyfriend or a girlfriend that you want to live with. And then maybe you decide you want to get married. So then there's a change there. And then you want to have children, and there's change there. And you have a job change, and there's change there. And it's just there's significant moments, and you change every single time who you are. But we don't spend a whole lot of time marking those events to say, who am I?
Yeah.
So I've been spending the last year and a half going, who am I? Who am I really? It's an interesting thing.
It really is. And, I think about that sometimes too, because I go back to, I'll hear a song or something that takes me back to college when I was working a full-time job, a part-time job, and then going to school full-time. And I was like, today I have no idea how I would even pull that off.
Right.
Like that sounds so super exhausting to me.
Yep.
Like, how did I even do that?
Right.
But I just did, because that's what I had to do. And who I was then is not who I am now. And it's a constant process. But the problem is when you split yourself into so many different places, it's hard to find the true you.
Yeah.
Sometimes
it is.
And it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because there's a lot of me in Marconin. Like it's just, I'm more extroverted. That's about the only thing.
Mm-hmm.
More extroverted than I already am, which is, I'm kind of in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's I don't try and stray too far away, because I feel I would kind of get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I have realized, and the thing that I think that a lot of people need to hear, is that who you are today doesn't need to be who you are tomorrow.
No.
And I mean that in certain ways. I mean that to say, just because you've always done you a certain way doesn't mean that tomorrow you don't get the chance to wake up and maybe change something about it that you want to change. So let me give you it's an easy example, but it's an example. I used to never swear on social media. I would never use a swear word on social media. I just never did it. And one day I just decided, and this year, because I've had my Twitter account since 2012. And this year, 2017, I finally put a swear word in a tweet, and I actually thought about it. I was like, should I do this? I've never done this. Should I really do this? I've always said I wouldn't do this. Should I do it? Is it a bad thing if I do it? Like, literally that. And then I sent the tweet, and it didn't break the world.
We're still here.
We're still here. And, and then I questioned that. I'm like, okay, so why did I have this rule for myself, right? And it was like, well, it was just kind of the rule that, I don't want to be considered to be lewd or big. And I'm like, wait, Jules, you swear like a freaking sailor half the time when you're talking to your friend. So what is the point of having and what is the point of not doing it on Twitter? And I just thought it was, and I realized, you know what? This is dumb. I don't have to stick to this standard if I don't want to, because I'm the only one who has the standard. Nobody else cares. It's just my standard. And, but like, if you are someone who swears all the time on Twitter and you're like, maybe I should just stop. Maybe I should just not do it. If that's how you feel, then just, go ahead and take care of it. Like, it doesn't, nothing has to stop you from changing something that you feel like needs to be tweaked. If you don't, just do it and go ahead. Because I found that I really kind of reshape my image of myself over time. And 2016 was a really good way for me to do that. And I feel like I'm more confident. I feel like I'm more comfortable in my own skin. I feel like I'm more honest with myself and with other people to the points that I can be. And so I think that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, definitely. For me, I err on the side of caution and try not to swear. But also, you get pretty awesome looks on people's faces when I get really mad and I launch into a tirade, and it's the first time they've heard me curse.
That happened to me
usually
with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is. I don't know if I remember this or not.
I can't remember the exact circumstances, but I took pause when I heard the F word come out of your mouth. And I was like, whoa, he is mad.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. I can't remember what it was either, but yeah, the F word is few and far between.
Yeah.
Publicly. But yeah, if you hang around me long enough, eventually something will happen and you'll hear it, and the sailor comes out for a second. But
yeah.
I keep it reined in because of those special moments, I suppose.
It has to have an honor point.
Yeah. Like, oh, he mad. You know? It's like boy crying wolf. He cries wolf all the time. They never believe him. But when Marconin drops the F-bomb, stuff's about to get real. Almost slipped right
you
there.
Almost did. I heard it.
I did.
You know what? But that's the thing. Like I've let the word shit fly on this show many times, and I don't care. I don't do it constantly, but I do say it. You know, I do say it, and it's like, and that happened a number of years ago where I was just like, I don't care. I think that's fine. You know, but I totally get what you're saying, and you know, the thing about it though is that you don't have to be. You don't have to stay rigid to the person that you think you should be all the time, because there might really be a good learning lesson, a good tweak to your personality, to your approach to life, that could make things a whole lot happier for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even if it's something that you think is part of yourself that you don't like, well, you are in full control of your own person. Yeah. So you can make that change, and you can improve yourself in any number of ways.
Right.
You know, whether it's, your sailor mouth, or your outlook, the way you talk to people, the way you view the world, there's all of these things are malleable, and you can change it.
Yeah.
It's
true.
There's things in everybody's lives that you've just sat down and thought, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to start doing this. It's like I've decided, just like I'm not who I was in college or high school. Totally different person now.
Exactly. The thing that I also wanted to kind of conversely compare this to is those that are so honest to the point that there is no filter. And I think we all know people who live in that space. We all know people who will basically say whatever's on their mind and screw you if you don't like it.
Yeah.
And so, like I was talking to my parents about this, and they brought up a family friend who is beloved by all of us, but he has no filter and no shame. So he will say anything to anybody. And it does not matter who he offends, and it does not matter who he's, it doesn't matter what your status is. It does, he will say what he is thinking, and it is done. And a lot of people love him for it, and a lot of people despise him for it. And it's not a way that I choose to live, but I understand. I understand there are people, and I understand the reasons why some people do this. You've got something that you want to say about this?
Well, no, just it's. I don't know. I'm more of. So for an example, yesterday, my wife and I went outside to walk the dog, and I always walk him to go to the strip of grass. It's like 2 houses down, so it's in between the road and the fence. There's like 2 feet of grass where trees used to be, but it's like the designated, dog poop spot. Like 4 or 5 dogs in the neighborhood that get walked. This is where they poop, and so that's where I take him to poop, because that's where he poops. But the missus, she tried to take him over there, but didn't really want to go, and so she went across the street to a neighbor's house, and. Like a switch or a button, he goes over there and parks his butt and starts to poop right in their yard. Now, it's off to the side of their yard, but it's like on the border between the neighbors. And at the exact moment that he popped a squat, that neighbor that lives there came outside, got in their car, and was staring at her while our dog is pooping in their lawn. And I am embarrassed up to my eyeballs embarrassed because I'm thinking, crud, now, I'm thinking all these things of like social interaction where like she's going to get mad and come out like, I was just dog pooping in my yard or something, but she didn't. But I felt so awkward and just kind of like social, like ugh, I walked away. Like I walked down the street just away from them.
Yeah.
And then when she came back, she's like, I don't care. I don't care if they saw him pooping in their yard. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like without a filter. Like, I don't care what they think. Yes, my dog's pooping in their yard. And I'm just like, but they might do this. They might, it just made me uncomfortable.
Right.
Because this whole presentation of howdy neighbor. No, my dog's not crapping in your yard. It's kind of, I know it's a long way around to get to the point, but it's between the two of us. I'm more, I care about what the neighbors think of me otherwise, but yet she doesn't in that regard. And so that's just where the difference is. Yeah. But
and
to me, when people don't have and so when they don't have that filter, it makes me at that same kind of uncomfortable because it's kind of, to me, there's like unwritten rules of conversation in society, you know, like, honey, do I look fat in this dress? No, you don't. That's the answer. The answer is no, you don't.
You know what, though? Okay, that is a great example. That is a great example. The way I live right now. No.
There are caveats to it.
The way that I live my life right now, that if I had a boyfriend or a husband and I asked that question, I would want him to be completely honest with me. Because that's how I live my life right now with a person that I would be romantically involved with, personally, intimately involved with. There is no filter. There is no, I don't, yes, they say, that whole thing about, no, you don't look fat to save a marriage, or, that is the problem in my mind with a lot of society.
Well, and that's why I said there are some caveats to that. Now, if she's asking, because she's choosing between a couple of dresses, then you've got some wiggle room to be like, well, what about the blue one? Because, you try to be polite and try not to be, you can be honest with them, but I don't know. It's such a hard thing for me to kind of go get to because, you don't want to upset anybody because, of course they don't, of course, heck, I don't even know where I'm going with it.
See, now, this is the problem. Okay, that is the main problem right there. You're digging yourself into a corner because,
I know.
Because it's like, how do you say it in a way that is not going to be insulting and hurtful? Yeah. But in my theory and in my world, I look at it and say, it would be more hurtful for you to lie to me. If that dress makes me look fat because it's clinging to my belly and my belly is sticking out, I want you to tell me that because I don't want to go out looking bad. And but there are some people, and I understand absolutely, and I validate your point, is that some people do not want to be told that their belly is sticking out because that is hurtful, and they are not willing to accept the fact that their belly is big and sticking out. Like, they don't want to admit that. They don't, they want to believe that it's not the case. It's just, it's just the outfit. It's not my belly, or it's, it's this and it's not that. And it's like, it's not the truth. And that in itself is the crux of a lot of the people who I'm thinking about who have no filter. Like, a person that has no filter would say, don't wear that dress. Your belly is fat. Because it has no sensitivity to the other person's feelings.
There's probably, you could probably dial it back 1 or 2 degrees and still be polite and still tell them, but that's with them not having a filter, that's not an option.
Yes. But so now, and someone who has a kindness filter or cares about the person to say, don't wear that dress, it's not the most flattering silhouette for you.
Yeah. Or make another recommendation,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my sister had a couple of dresses that she was going to wear for her wedding. She did not wear a wedding dress. She just wore some dresses that she had some dresses in her own closet. And so she texted my mom and I, and she asked us which one that she thought she should wear. And so she sent us pictures of the dresses only on hangers and said, which dress? And there were 2 dresses that one that I liked over the other. And I said, you know what? I need to see them on you, because hanger appeal, it has nothing. You know,
Yeah.
and so she tried them on, took selfies with them, and the dress that I really liked was not flattering on her at all. And the other one was much better. Like, it didn't look as great on the hanger, and it looked really good on her. And so when she said, "What do you think?" and I just said, "I think that the one flatters your body better." And then she's like, "Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking about that blue dress, because it makes my belly look huge." And I was just like, see, I mean, she got it. She understood it. But I didn't have to say, that dress makes your belly look fat. Like,
Yeah.
so, you know, there are the kind ways to say it. What bothers me, though, are, and I get frustrated with just people who are just unafraid to hurt people's feelings about it. It's like, I'm going to tell you how it is, and I don't care if I insult you or I offend you. Get over it, because this is who I am. And that in itself is frustrating to me, because it really doesn't take into account other people's feelings. And that's what I'm about. You know?
Yeah.
I'm not about to say that their approach is wrong, because that's who they are. I'm not going to tell you you're wrong. I'm not going to support that.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay wouldn't be near as entertaining on TV if he wasn't like that.
Yeah, you know, and you've seen the comparison of Gordon Ramsay talking to adults versus Gordon Ramsay talking to children. Have you seen that video?
Mm-mm.
Oh, there's a great video where he talks about, it shows him like raging up a storm to the adults and calling them names and telling them how stupid they are and how incompetent they are. And then the same things that he does with MasterChef children, the young kids. He's like super supportive and like encouraging, and he builds them up, and he hugs them, and he makes them feel better when they don't do well. And it's like, you know, you think that Gordon Ramsay is this persona of being a righteous dick, and then he winds up being a really super awesome dude when it comes to kids who don't deserve that treatment.
Yeah. Either that, or he's not trying not to scare them away from cooking, so that eventually they will grow into an adult and pursue a chef career in cooking, and then he can yell at them then.
Right.
It's like,
right,
once
right.
you've chosen your path, you better be good, or I'm just gonna you know, rattle at you up one side and down the other.
Yeah, exactly.
But as a kid, I don't want to squash your dreams, but as an adult, I'm going to squash your dreams.
Yeah.
I'm giving you this chance.
Yeah. Self-awareness is a really challenging thing, especially for some people, because, and we've talked about this on the show before, is that we aren't really ever taught, like, we're taught as little kids that we're supposed to tell the truth. But a kid doesn't have a filter, and you teach a kid how to become, you teach them with a filter. You teach them how to not walk up to an old lady and tell her she's old.
Yeah.
Or to walk up to an overweight man and tell him he's a big fat guy. Like, we teach our children to not say the blunt, honest truth.
Yeah. Just because you know something doesn't mean you have to say it.
Right.
Like, yes, that man is very large. No, you don't have to tell him. He probably is aware.
He probably already knows that, honey. But the you know, when you think about it, and you think about how we groom our children, our young ones, to, you know, get rid of their filter, or put on their filter, I'm sorry, get rid of their brutal honesty, and we laugh it off when we say, oh, the honesty of children, you know, out of the mouths of babes, blah, blah, blah. And then we teach ourselves to not be honest. We teach our children not to be honest in terms of what we really think. So then there's not that balance between learning how to be diplomatic, and, you know, that's a skill that you learn over time. It's a learned behavior. But we never learn, or never really taught, how to be honest with ourselves.
That's one of the hardest things.
It is so darn hard. Like, so I spend a lot of time, you know, on social media and all that kind of thing. And some people just make me shake my head, because it frustrates me so much, because I wish that I could just, there are some people that I wish I could just say, do you realize how this comes across? Do you realize that what you're saying is hurtful, or it's really annoying, or it's, you know, very tiresome to hear this over and over again? It's frustrating. It's unpleasant to read this. I think about that a lot. And I have made, and this is a rule that I will never change on myself, I don't think, is that I have a rule that I will never give someone advice that is unsolicited. Ever. And will never approach, because I did that when I was younger and it had awful consequences. Nobody wants to hear your truth. So, and if you give it to them because you think you're doing the right thing, they don't want to hear what you have to say because it's hurtful and they are not ready to hear it. So I only will give someone my opinion if they come to me and ask me, because then they are actually willing to hear the truth. You gave me an open opportunity to share it, but I don't, unless you are a dear friend of mine, I will not talk about what I feel, the honest truth, unless you are someone who is a dear friend, and I will say, look, I gotta be straight with you on this. This is how I feel about it. And, you know, this is my opinion. Take it or leave it.
Yeah.
It's sometimes really hard, though. I really do want to just say, do you know how negative you are every day? Do you know? Please.
Yeah. Well, and I usually stay quiet as well, because it doesn't do anybody any good to just add another voice to the conversation that wasn't asked for. But, you know, every once in a great while, I feel the need to say something. And I do. And it doesn't really go bad, but it's just, you know, ignorance is bliss. So if someone doesn't know I think about something a certain way, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Like they, you know, but if I open my mouth and it changes someone's perception about me, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes I peek through the cracks on social media where it comes to Marcona, because I try and keep my stuff fairly just video games, cats, WoW, music, fun stuff, because that's what I enjoy. You know, I don't have a soapbox. I have an MP3 player. I have a photo album. That's what Twitter is for me. And it's fun and friends. And it's not uber serious. It's not get on a soapbox and yell at whoever's following me that this is what I think. But every once in a while, when I see something online that I know is like, that's not right, I will say something, but I will be very professional and I will be nice. And if we agree to disagree, that's fine. That's cool. You share your ideas, I share mine. We'd still disagree. That's fine. Still your friend. Still think you're cool. I think you're totally wrong on something, and you think I'm totally wrong on it too.
Yeah.
But you know, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean, it was nothing bad. It just did not sound right to me. It just sounded very hypocritical and very close-minded.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been there, and so I choose. There have been certain cases where I've just said, okay, I'm not going to follow this person anymore, and
that's usually my course of action. Yeah.
Yeah. Or you know, or I just I'll mute their stream so I don't because I've had people who didn't agree with what they said, and I unfollowed, and then I got a message saying, why'd you unfollow me? Well, guess what? You just opened the door for me to give you feedback because you want to know why I unfollowed you. Okay, I will tell you, but
that's a lot of feedback.
But at the same time, like I don't even want to. Like I've had a couple times where I've been like, you know what? I'm unfollowing you. I can't do this anymore, and it didn't do me any good to do that. It didn't save anything. It made the situation even more weird. Again, unsolicited feedback. So I just go, no, not going to go there. Cause it's, and there are times like in my younger years, I really felt like it was my duty to share that kind of feedback with someone, right? I thought it was my responsibility to say, I am not following you anymore because I don't, or, this was before Twitter, of course, but in that example, to say I am not following you anymore because I'm offended by your choice of words in this scenario, or I think you're overreacting, or blah blah blah, and it just didn't go well. And so and then, usually it wound up being a Twitter rant and a drama on the other side. And I'm like, you know what? No, I don't want that.
Yeah. It's a lot like the comic from XKCD that's kind of floating around the internet where a guy's on a keyboard and he's like, "Are you coming to bed, honey? I can't. This is important. What is it? Someone is wrong on the internet, and I must tell them that they are wrong."
Yeah.
It's like, it's like you get this idea like, oh, actually, you're incorrect. No one likes a know-it-all.
Yeah.
Someone will come up right behind you and change, and do that. And so, like you were saying, you felt it was your duty because they were wrong. And you must tell them what is right.
Yeah,
so
I've actually had someone
anymore.
ask me. Someone send me a message and say, "How do you stay out of Twitter drama?" And I said, "I don't get in it."
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
but how do you not tell someone that they're wrong? I said, "I don't tell them that they're wrong." It doesn't. My sanity and the emotional tax that it comes from getting yourself amped up and angry over something someone says on the internet isn't worth my time. I don't need that in my life. And so I just say, that made me mad. I don't like that. I choose not to see it anymore, and I don't see it anymore. It's done. And that concept was very foreign to this person who is younger and impulsive and was like, I need to tell you that you're wrong because you're wrong. But they were like, how do you not do this? I just don't. It's just literally.
It's not that important to you in your day-to-day life.
Yeah. I mean, I my sanity and my emotional stability, not having a big blow up emotional breakdown is much more important to me every day. So I just you know what, that if I let that get to me, then all of a sudden I've just destroyed everything that I was trying to do with having a good day. So I just don't. There's times where the line is right there where I'm just ooh, I just want to tell them I'm wrong. And then no.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I did in that instance was I started asking questions,
right?
To see what they were meaning. But it's, it kind of goes back to how your social media kind of, it's part of your persona. It's how you express your persona online, and people make those judgments about you based on what you post, what you retweet, what you say to people, what you post on Facebook if you're other things. But keeping quiet and not saying things that it's different than who you are, but that's not who the Twitter Jules is.
Right.
Because it's someone who doesn't get involved with those things, and it's, it's a different part of you where in day-to-day life, if like you and I were sitting at dinner and I brought up something similar, you'd have 4 pages of stuff to tell me about it or to just express.
Right.
Because that's our relationship. That's a different setting. And that's who you are, when you're not on Twitter,
Exactly.
And there's nothing wrong with either of those.
Right. Right. And so, kind of to summarize this conversation, I really am a true believer and supporter of honesty and being authentic, being true to who you are. But I am not as comfortable with people who use that as a weapon against other people. I don't I'm not a fan of that. And, I know that there are plenty of people that disagree with me, and that's fine. And
how do you I've got a question. How do you use it as a weapon exactly?
I'm talking about the people that say, I am going to be honest with you and I don't care how you feel about it because I am being true to myself.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
am keeping it real. Yo.
That reminds me of old Dave Chappelle thinks, when keeping it real goes too far.
Yes.
And
yes.
It's like, just keep your mouth shut. You wouldn't get beat up at the club. All this kind of thing. So yeah, I can. Sorry. I love those skits.
But you know what I'm saying, right? It's the people that are, and they use it as a weapon against other people to keep them, to make sure that they know that this is, you're not immune from my wrath. If you say something stupid, I will make sure that I tell you because that's the way I am. and you are not immune because you are my friend. And, you know, so yeah, I've just, I appreciate honesty. I appreciate people who tell it straight, but I appreciate them more if they have a kindness about it or a good intention behind it.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's not meant to be self-serving. It's not meant to be for the sake of keeping it real, everything else be damned. That's how I prefer. And I know that there are people out there listening to this show right now who are like, I keep it real and that is how I live my life and you can't tell me otherwise. Hey,
we're not trying to.
No, I'm not telling you nothing. But we are probably not going to agree on a lot of your approaches and my approaches. We're just not. And that's fine. It's what makes the world go around. I'm kind of aiming to appeal to the people who are on the side of not feeling comfortable with honesty and living in a state of honesty, because it is so freeing to be able to be honest with yourself, with your partner, with your family, in a way that you'll never have understood in the past. And so I know that I can't be that way with everybody in my life. I just can't. It's not because it's not a mutual thing. They are not prepared to be in that authentic state, that truthful state. I get it. And but for when it's coming to me, like I have my own standards. Like if I'm going to be dating somebody, you got to understand that there is no secrets. There's nothing, we are going to be honest about everything. And it's just, that's how we're going to be. And if you're not cool with that, you like to live in the kind of dream state where you kind of make stuff up as you go along and the half truths come out because the rest of it isn't important. That's not going to work. So yeah, I'm going to step off my soapbox now.
Yeah.
Anything else that you wanted to talk about with this topic before we shift gears?
Well, it's sometimes, with some people, sometimes people have all of these different kind of personas that they don't quite know who they are. They don't know which parts are them and which parts are the other personas, and they kind of bleed through.
Yeah.
And you're trying to discuss, sometimes you may like your persona better than you. You may like who you are around this, around this environment or that environment. But when you're home by yourself, you don't like yourself. What do you do in those kind of situations where, your persona is, it's less of a different part of you and more of who you want to be instead of yourself. And so you project, it's kind of like the mask. When you put on the mask, you become who you want to be. Your deepest desires come to the surface. You are who you are repressed inside. What do you do then? Do you try to marry the two together and incorporate the two, or how do you go about that?
Right.
Because some of your personas, especially for people online, sometimes that persona is foreign to the people they know in real life. Locally. Yeah. They don't know that, because most people at work, they know I do stuff, and a couple of my coworkers, they've watched the show, and they're just like, I don't understand most of it, but it sounded good.
Yes.
Some of them play video games like, oh, it's kind of cool. But then, I come into work and I'm sitting there barking orders at them. It's a different person.
Yeah.
Because you got to be.
You have to be.
But, when you really doctor up your online presence to the point where you really want to be that person 24/7 because you don't like yourself, what do you do in that case? And that's kind of just an open question, because I don't know what to do in that case.
Yeah, and I think it's there's a lot of things you can do. One of the main things that I would say too is therapy really, really helped me to uncover a lot of that for myself. Especially last year, I went through a lot of therapy because I had to come to terms with so much change and so much that I didn't know, and things that I thought were true and weren't, and to be comfortable in my own skin again, because I was going to be living an entirely new existence, and one that I didn't expect that I would be doing. And so I really do think that therapy is a way to help you. As I put it a lot of times, it's to put a frame on the picture. It helps you to understand what you are on the inside, and by putting a frame around the life that you have built on the outside.
Yeah.
And so that's always how I've envisioned therapy, actually, is the frame around the picture. And it's really kind of helped me, because a lot of things you just don't understand. You live your life every day. You don't have an outside perspective or someone who doesn't live your life. And so you describe your life to someone else in honest terms, like, this is really who I am, and not just what you think they want to hear. And they can see it in a way that you will never be able to on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Ever.
Yeah. And I like that the way you said that, to put a frame on it, because you could look at a giant wall mural of all these things, but when you put a frame around a specific part of it, like a specific person in that mural, it brings the focus in. Yeah. And everything else kind of, it brings this boundary, but it also puts more emphasis on what's inside.
Yeah.
So you can focus in on it.
It's the metaphor I've always used for therapy. And when the very first time I went to therapy, I had that, and it helped me understand how I got to the point that I was at. When you describe your life as it is, and then the frame goes around the picture, and you say, well, that makes sense why I feel so anxious all the time, because I had this scenario in over and over and over where I never felt like I had, and I'm just making this up because this isn't a personal thing, but anxiety because you never felt like you could be in one place at one time. You were always moving around. You were always, family was going everywhere. That's the frame around the picture that helps you understand what's on the inside. And when I was done with that bout of therapy, with that round of therapy, it was literally like I could take my life and hang it on the wall and see it from the outside and look at it. And that was a really big turning point. And so this last year I did that again. I had a wonderful therapist who helped me through a lot of issues. And she was really that framing to say, no wonder all of this had happened and why you're feeling the way you are is because you didn't even see all of this other stuff on the outside. You didn't even know it was there. And so it was pretty cool. I'm a therapy nerd kind of, because it's so fascinating to see what comes out of that. So
yeah. Well, cool.
Anyway, again, we'd love your feedback on this topic. You can send it to us at questions@taurenThinkTank.com. You can tweet us at TaurenThinkTank. You can send us a message on Facebook, facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank, or Discord. Discord has been a hopping place lately because I added a couple new fun channels, and that is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. I added 2 new channels. I added a creative channel and a Moo Crew Pets channel, so you can share pictures of your lovely pets and the creative projects that you've been making or your family makes or things like that, because I've been creative, so I want to see what you guys are doing. There you go. We
got a creative bunch and a lot of cool looking pets.
Oh, our pets are so pretty. I love our pets.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about some more fun stuff with our Tell Us One Thing questions that Mark Conan wrote. Here we go.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Question 1. Talking about pets. Fire away. What's our first question?
Our first question is, what would your dream pet be, and what is its name?
Oh, this one was hard. I mean, I'm like, diehard cat person, so my cats are things. And I thought about it, and I was like, what would I want? What would I want? I would actually want a fox.
Ooh.
Because foxes are so cool. They're a mixture of a cat and a dog.
Mm-hmm.
They're absolutely stunningly beautiful animals. Like, they are the most gorgeous animals ever. And I think that I would name my fox. It would be hard to name him because I would have to look at if it was a boy or a girl. Like, I'd name pets. I don't know. I don't know what the name would be, but I would definitely have like a red fox.
Yeah. Well, if I had a fox, I would probably name it Swift
Uh-huh.
after the cartoon David the Gnome.
Oh, yeah.
Because he had a fox named Swift. And if that stupid fox mount ever drops for me, then I'll start calling it Swift because I'm a gnome.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
Did you hear that, Blizzard? You hear that, Blizzard? I need the fox mount,
You
please.
still don't have the fox mount. That's crazy.
Every other day, I do that dungeon thing, the Withered, and nothing. Nothing at all.
Your RNG is hurting.
I know.
Okay, what's your dream pet? What's your dream pet?
Well, it'd be one of two things, and one's more realistic than the other, but they're both. I could do that. One of them is I really want a Sphinx cat, the hairless ones.
Yes.
And I want to name it. I want it to be a guy, and I want to name him Jean-Luc after Jean-Luc Picard.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and even the bookmark that Nevermore got me had like all the crew of Next Generation, but as cats, and Picard was a Sphinx because he's bald. So I would love to have that. You could like dress him up in sweaters and other like clothes like during when it's cold outside because they get cold.
They do.
He could be my costume cat. I know that's weird, but
no, they're awesome cats. The rescue that I got Garrus from is a specialty purebred rescue. So they don't breed cats like that, but they rescue purebred cats.
Yeah.
So a lot of the members, like I follow their Facebook group, and there's thousands of members of there, and a lot of them have Sphinx. And so you see beautiful pictures, and a lot of them, these Sphinxes will sleep in shirts. Like they'll go into their owner's shirt so that they're up against their skin. And so they love to sleep against your skin. And so there's just lots and lots of pictures like that. So Yep.
So yeah, I'd either do that or I'd have a Serval, which is one of those really big cats.
Yes.
They're essentially like a dog size, like a good sized dog sized cat. And they play fetch, they run, and I'd like name him something fun. I know it'd be a real person's name like Frank. It's just like, hey Frank.
Frank the cat.
Yeah. We had a cat named Fred growing up.
That's awesome.
He was just this big burly cat named Fred. So it's fun. It's like the Family Guy skit when the mayor's calling all his cats' name, and one's called Paul, and he picks up Paul. He's like, what a silly name for a cat, Paul. Just a human name for an animal would be fine.
My cat's name is Bob. That's it.
Yeah,
it's Bob. That's awesome.
But yeah, we had a lot of good responses on this one.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Perfect Nomad says an American. How do you pronounce that?
I think it's Bandog.
American Bandog Mastiff, aka Monbari Warhound from Dragon Age. Oh, okay. I would name him Winston, just like the big softy in Overwatch.
Our friend Ashanka has his dog named Winston.
Yeah.
His name is
Winston. He does.
So cute. Broken Bone says a dragon named Pyro, or for a real pet, a Savannah cat named Zoe. Savannahs are gorgeous.
Ooh, they are beautiful.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
The Buttress wants a llama. Not sure about the name though. Maybe Zoe for a lady llama, and Loke for a dude llama. Loke llama.
Loke llama.
Loke llama.
Magic Myth Mayhem says a cat or a dog. Probably Kiro for the cat from the Card Scepter Sakura, and Clifford for the dog from Clifford the Big Red Dog. I love that book.
Oh yeah. Torek wants a Bengal tiger. Good call. And I'd probably name him Jazargo, because who doesn't want their own Khajiit?
Yeah, I don't know the reference. I'm sorry.
That's probably from something.
Yeah,
probably from something.
And I don't know what it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Zytem says a scorpion. Any animal that fluoresces under black light is cool. Also, I'm not allergic to them. I hope. I'd probably name him Spot.
At Namiria941 says a unicorn named Princess Sparkles, or a baby dragon.
Bim says Pegasus the Pegasus, because free flights anywhere.
Ooh, good call. Good call. At PK Geek Dad says a border collie named Whiskey. Damn dog allergy keeping me from him.
Aw. RJ says I'd love a pet fennec fox because they're so hyper, Pixie Stick would be cute.
Pixie is a good name for an animal, just saying.
And fennec, have you seen fennec foxes? They're the ones with the huge ears.
Oh, the big ears. Oh, yeah.
Big ones. And they're so pretty. Oh, yeah.
They are. Yeah. And lastly, Nevermore said Edgar the Otter. I saw that picture that she put up there. It's really cute.
So cute. We had so many. We couldn't use them all because otherwise the show would go forever.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you guys all for sending in. I just have to say, Tell Us One Thing has exploded lately, and you guys have been sending in more submissions that we can ever use, but we love seeing them. So thank you. And
yeah, we love reading through them. Oh, yeah.
Love it, love it. So the second question, what is one of your earliest gaming memories?
Yeah, and I was just getting kind of introspective because I don't know if I said it last week, but oh no, I didn't because she didn't have it yet. But for my wife's birthday, I made her a retro gaming station that has all the NES and all the SNES games on it because she said that she wanted to go back and play the old Final Fantasies someday.
Right.
And so I built it, got the hardware, and did saved everything, did all that stuff. So it got me thinking about old gaming memories because if you listen to the show, odds are you play video games at some point.
Yep.
And it's just nice to go back and see what people were saying. And for me, one of my earliest ones was one that I remember really well was playing Double Dragon on NES with my dad.
Yeah.
He would play a lot of video games with me. We even played on the Atari before he had an NES, but the one that stuck out first and foremost was sitting in my sister's bedroom playing on like a probably 9-inch or 10-inch TV screen, playing Double Dragon together, and that was just really cool.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, so I'm old, so my first gaming memories were on Commodore 64 computers.
Yeah.
And one of my favorites out of that was the winter and summer games on Commodore 64. Where you could do, on the winter games, you could do like biathlon. So you'd be doing cross-country skiing and you'd do skeet shooting. There was the ice skating, like the figure skating. You could do that. Ski jumping. Oh, I love the winter games so much. It was my favorite. And so, but the first the console that we ever had in my house was an Atari 2600. So that was all about, the Breakout and Pac-Man and Indiana Jones and Pitfall. And so, yeah, it was so cool.
That is awesome.
It's so neat. So, and, I say I'm old, and there's some folks that are like, I'm older than you are. It's like, I gotcha. I got you. We got some older memories than that one. But
yeah, we do.
Yeah. Perfect Nomad said the 1993 Sega Genesis X-Men game and also Earthworm Jim. Groovy.
Kayafin says the first game was Pong, original release. But my most prevalent memory was Final Fantasy 1. I died walking around the town gate at the beginning 11 times and stopped playing it for life. That's how I felt about Jurassic Park for SNES. I kept dying all the time.
That's how I felt with E.T. on Atari. That was the E.T. game. Oh, yeah.
Well,
yeah.
That's justified because that's pretty much all you could do in that game is die.
I got stuck in a pit, and I never got out of that pit, ever.
Nope.
Ever.
Never.
I tried to fly out of that pit so many times and couldn't. I'm like, I hate this game. Turns out it was really broken.
Yeah.
GDS MGL says, playing Super Mario Brothers with my older brother, pausing while jumping over a pit.
Oh,
so
that's mean. That's mean. A Broken Bone says, playing Pong in the early 80s. It was my first game. The most memorable was when original NES came out and the first time you launched Super Mario Brothers. I remember that too. A game whose theme tune makes me smile to this day. My mother once had me leave the game on pause for several hours, and she recreated the screen in icing for my birthday cake. How cool is that? That is very
really
cool.
That is really cool.
That's extremely cool.
Eli CTR says, in the late 60s on occasion, I would accompany my father on a weekend trip to work. He was a programmer for Standard Oil America. He would let me play a text-based game on the mainframe, as I remember it was called Spaceship. Object being adjust the thrust of a descending spaceship on landing approach with the goal of landing without crashing. Velocities and gravitation can be modified to keep it from becoming too easy.
Ooh.
I never heard of that one. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. That is very cool. The Buttress says the earliest computer game is let's see. The earliest computer game is Lode Runner on the Apple IIe. The earliest electronic game is Galaxy Invader 1000.
Nice.
I guess that's yeah.
Kalani said for Astro Grover on an old Dell 386, and that was like Astro Grover, like the Grover from Sesame Street.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I had no idea. He put a picture of that up there, and I was like, dude, that is old.
It is old.
That is old.
Let's see. 2020 site said the original Atari 2600, playing Pitfall and Pac-Man and Asteroids at my best friend Matt's house when we were like 6. I was so bad at Pitfall, so bad.
I loved Pitfall.
In all caps.
I loved Pitfall. Yeah. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh!
I don't think I ever played it back in the day.
Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. He's swinging over the thing. He's swinging over the water and jumping on the logs. It's so great.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Tiber says, I went to the arcade at the local mall one afternoon and people went looking at this thing that was not a pinball table. The Pong machine was a vertical rectangle with a black display, white bars for paddles on each side, and a white ball bouncing from side to side. It only had 2 round knobs for controls. I lost a couple quarters to it, then went back to a pinball table where my money lasted longer. Pinball is my favorite.
Yeah. She's a pinball wizard.
I love pinball. Are you kidding?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. At Nemiria941 said, staying up late to play the Chronicles of Narnia on my Game Boy Advance, hiding under the bed covers so Mom wouldn't see. See, you get away with that with the Game Boy Advance, but when I had the Game Boy, you had to have a light on it.
Yeah, you
had to have a light.
Could not do it with the Game Boy. You wouldn't do that. No. And finally, PK Geek Dad says, I have died multiple times of dysentery. # Oregon Trail.
Yeah. Yep.
These are fun, you guys. I really, really like this one. There's so many early video game memories, and and now it's like, I think about it, and the younger generation, like their early game memories are World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My first game was WoW. I started in Lich King. Yeah, I know. See. I know. So it's pretty amazing when you think about it. But video gaming has been around for so long now, and it's just like. I just love that our generation, and we're carrying that through, and the new generations are coming in. But the memories that we have of like Commodore 64, Apple IIe, all those things are just that's gonna be gone. Like that's not gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, so. It's all gonna be in the history books.
I know. It makes me sad. Oh, all right. Let's go and do some slash moves, shall we? Oh, by the way, I should say, tell us one thing. You can send your questions in to us on Twitter at Tauren Think Tank. You can also join the discussion on Discord. That's a very popular place to answer that. That's tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. And you can also talk to us on Facebook, facebook.com/Tauren Think Tank. Facebook's probably the least popular of our locations. Twitter and Discord are where people have the most conversations with us on most things.
Yeah.
So, but they're there. They're there for you.
They're there for you if you need them.
All right, slash boo time. Chat room, here's your warning. If you want to throw in some slash moves, you can do so pretty soon. We've only got a couple, so there you go. From Kaiafin, slash move to this guild. Just talking about CTR. I have had a lot of issues lately and thought I may lose being able to be here. Jules, Turarts, Zandara, Zafira, and many others show me that we truly are a community and a team. So much respect for you all.
Absolutely.
You slash booed me, and you're not supposed to do that, but I will let it go. And I will take just a moment. I just need to acknowledge this for just a second, because I know Kai has talked about this publicly, and so I will acknowledge it as well. Kaya's situation is a pretty unique one where she almost lost the ability to have her community around her because of someone who tried to take it away from her. Very, very similarly to what we talked about on the show last week. Someone who she had known personally decided that they wanted to become very creepy and stalker like actually stalking her on every social media platform that she had after she told him no. And I found out about this very recently, but it had been going on for quite some time. And no one should ever have to deal with feeling like they can't be where they want to be on the internet. No one should. And
Absolutely.
so I am so happy that she is here with us still as part of the community. As soon as I found out what was going on in terms of our community, that individual was gone. And so I don't stand for that. And the Virtual community does not stand for that. So
it kind of goes against the RNCTR, which is respect.
Yeah.
Because you weren't respecting boundaries. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm just, so that's why I allowed you to give the slash move, but really you're the one who gets it because you're the real champion here. You put up with a lot, and I'm so sorry. Like, that is, the stuff that she was telling me about was just, I mean, there are some very sick people in this world, and it's very unfortunate that we have to deal with that. So, okay.
Yeah. That's okay. And also, it gave people more time in the chat room to put them.
Yes.
We also have a slash move from Shorel. Shorel says, slash move to @Mamanatrix and Reloki24 for a fun evening of getting the ugliest mount in the game. And I bet you that's the Mindworm.
Is that the Mindworm? That is a really ugly mount.
Thing is ugly as sin, but I'm glad it's in my stables because I needed the extra notch towards the next achievement mount thing whenever they release it.
Here.
Gotta get it.
He's like a step on the ladder towards the bigger stuff.
Yeah. Gotta catch them all.
Draven Dresden in the chat room says, slash move to Kurt Russell because only he could play the role he did and not be a complete douche with it. No spoilers. Also, Snake Plissken.
He's talked about Guardians of the Galaxy was a fantastic movie.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
Kurt Russell did do a real good job in that. It wasn't like hokey or anything. He owned it.
Yeah, he did.
Really good job.
He did. It was a fun ride. So, thank you guys so much for sending in your slash moves. And you have some more?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay.
First of all, I have a text message in all caps that says, "You better slash move each other for me," from Nevermore. So slash move to you. She says in all caps.
Okay.
So, slash move to both of us. And also slash move to Draven Dresden, whose birthday is today.
Yes.
So happy birthday. He's an awesome guy. I want to slash move him personally because he has tagged my newbie butt along in the journey to get these Overwatch thingies in Heroes of the Storm.
Yes.
You got to do like 5 matches a week. And he has been very, very happy to help and very accommodating. And both him and Grand Nagus 2 weeks ago, Grand Nagus came along with us and helped me.
Yes.
So slash move for your birthday and for helping me out getting these cool, awesome things in Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So thank you.
Draven is a staple in our chat room and one of the biggest purveyors of our show titles every week. We wouldn't be able to do it without him, and when he's not here, we miss him. So thank you and happy birthday. I hope it's wonderful for you. And he says, "You're not supposed to slash me. Touche, pussycat." So you guys can send your slash moves in to questions at taurenThinkTank.com, on our Twitter at taurenThinkTank, and of course our Discord, which I will give you the link again, tinyurl.com/TTTchat2. And Marconin, that's a show.
It is a show.
We made a show.
We did it.
We did a good thing.
We did a thing.
I still don't know why Nevermore wanted us to slash move each other, but that's fine. She can do whatever. She does her. You do you, boo-boo.
Yeah. She do her, boo-boo.
You do you, boo-boo. So anything going on this week that you wish to speak of or share?
Not really anything out of the ordinary. Just getting used to this new job and all the weird responsibilities. I have a work phone now and a laptop, and I had to drive a company vehicle. I've never done that before, so it's weird, but it's fun. So I'll just stick with it. So yeah, not doing a whole lot. Trying to I should be able to get my plane ticket for Nerdtacular in the next week. So. Yes. So I can finally say I'm coming to Nerdtacular with 100% certainty. Now, getting back, I have to worry about that plane ticket later.
Yeah.
But I'll at least get the first one, so at least be there.
Yes. Yes.
And I'll just thumb a ride like 2,000 miles home.
Is anybody driving home that could kind of just drop me off somewhere in Little Rock area?
Anyone going through Arkansas? Or heck, even Dallas? I got people there. Anyone?
Anybody?
Okay. I'll start walking.
Yeah, so this is going to be more transition for you this week. And I don't have a lot going on this week. Again, hopefully there'll be a crafting stream this weekend if you want to check that out.
Yeah, Sunday.
So you can follow my Twitch, which is Jules RPG on Twitch. And I will do a host from Triple T's Twitch as well if you follow that. So yeah, hopefully we'll be able to do some crafting together. It should be fun.
Yeah. Also, so is our anniversary on what day is that you started the first episode?
I keep forgetting.
Was it the 18th?
I think it's the 18th. My brain keeps saying the 16th, but I think it's the 18th.
Okay. Well, either way, next week will be our 5-year anniversary show.
No big deal.
Ish. Yeah, we don't have anything planned. I don't have a whole lot of audio. I don't have any audio.
I don't have anything. I have nothing planned for it.
We're still that'll be the episode for next week. We're still here. Episode 231, still here.
We're still here. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, and I should also put the call out for letters. If you guys have any situational letters that you'd like us to cover, please do send them. We are also open for show discussion. We come up with our own, but if you have something that you are like, hey, we should really talk about this, we can certainly do that. That's all I've got for now, Marconin. Let's bring this show to a close like we always do, just like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
Portions of the music and sound effects heard on this show can be found at incompetech.com and freesound.org. You can find us outside of the show on our website. That's taurenThinkTank.com, where you can find information on how to get all of our podcasts and also how to keep in touch with us, too. And if you want some cool swag to add to your collection, you can go to taurenThinkTank.com/store because we got some cool merch. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, and more at taurenThinkTank.com/store.
I think the store is on sale this week too, so check it out.
Woo!
Might be on the cheap this week.
Saving money.
Yeah, saving money. Thanks for all that support our show via Patreon. If you'd like to help out Triple T and support our show, you can do so at patreon.com/TaurenThinkTank. Want to meet other members of the Triple T community? Join our Discord server. The quick way to get there is tinyurl.com/TTTchat2.
You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter at 140 characters or less at Tauren Think Tank for the show, at Jules RPG for Jules, and at Marconin Wow for me.
Yes, thank you everyone. Thank you chat room for being with us tonight and hanging out every Thursday night at 8 o'clock Central Daylight Time. You can find us through the video stream at twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank and our mobile audio through Alpha Geek Radio at tunein.alphageekradio.com. We love seeing you here with us, however you can do us. Marconin,
yes, we do. Jules.
Have a wonderful week at your new job still.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week for our 5-year anniversary show, which we forgot about until now. Marconin remembered, I didn't. We look forward to talking to you guys then. So have a wonderful week and be good to each other. Be kind to each other and don't give any unsolicited advice.
Yeah.
That's
never start a conversation with, well, actually.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, actually, for myself, for Marconin, for the entire chat room, until next time, /moo, everybody.
So /moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
Well, actually.
Actually. I had to.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we got some show title ideas.
I really like the occupationally upgraded one. That one's my favorite, but chat room, weigh in on your choices. We've got occupational upgrade. We've got stuff.
Yeah.
Well, actually. Marconi wears short shorts. Does this dress make you no? Don't slash move it. So my vote is occupational upgrade.
Yeah, I mean that one sounds good. That either that or their stuff. It's funny too.
That one's really funny. You just got done saying you weren't going to say the F word, and then you were about to say
like she stuff.
Did you just see Garrus walk by?
Yeah, I did.
I thought he might be coming over to jump up on Mom, but I think he's going to lay down in the bed. Oh, too funny. All right, I'm going to choose occupational upgrade.
Okay.
For this one. And I'm going to make a note of it. Draven, are you still Batman Van Hulkenstein on Twitter?
I think he is. He was earlier today.
That is I really like that name. I think that is one of my favorites.
It's mine too.
Oh, man. Batman Van Hulkenstein. Thank you guys so much for the host tonight. Rue, Wares, Oddish. Very cool.
Thank you
very much.
So much.
Appreciate the hosts. We had like a nice bunch of people in the chat room tonight. Yeah. So I'd like to see the Discord start to have more fun and more games and not games, but more chat and stuff. And so I've been happy to see people posting their pets and stuff. Yeah.
And Draven's got one for next week already. Either that or something like episode 231. Yep, still here.
You're going to have to remind me, though, because I can't remember anything anymore. I can't. Like, unless it's like the day of. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Come here, little man. Want to come say hi? Come here. He's just going to saunter around. Mark Conan can see him.
Yep. He's sashaying his way across the floor.
He is really sashaying away.
Mm-hmm.
I love RuPaul's Drag Race, man. Are you texting?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, did I lose you?
Oh, no. No, I'm still here.
Did you go?
I see him yawning. Yeah. Was he yawning or is he just...
He's licking his chops.
He's looking. Oh, yeah.
He's going to jump up on the tree. There he goes.
Yep, there he goes. Kitty swagger.
He's going to do his thing, and he ain't going to answer to no mama. He ain't answering to no mama. So.
Yeah. I'm my own person, mama. I'm my own cat person. I do what I want.
He has been so cuddly lately. So cute. So.
I'm going to snuggle you all day. Ain't nothing you can do about it. I keep it real.
Snuggle your face.
Well, actually, I'm going to snuggle you all day.
Well, actually. Oh, that was pretty funny. I like that.
I don't know if you're aware, but there was so I did that a little bit the other day because Thorn from Lagging Balls posted he retweeted a picture of this thing. It's like, oh wow, look at this cool view of Titan from the Cassini probe as it's going through Saturn's rings, because it's gonna crash into Saturn in September. So they're actually screaming it between the gaps between two of the largest rings.
Yeah.
And someone posted, they're like, look at this awesome picture. But it was an artist's concept. It wasn't, I was like, there's no way that's a real picture. And so instead of going, actually, that's not true, I said, yeah, it's an awesome picture, but it would have been, I wish it was real. Not an artist's concept.
Yeah.
Because that, it's kind of like when you see stuff online where it's like, look at this story that's awful. Didn't happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally didn't happen.
That I almost got hooked into that last week. Someone who I actually I have a lot of respect for, tweeted like an article that was about, it was saying, oh my God, Friends is coming back for another season. And there was a hashtag, the one where they come back. And I was like, what? And so I went and I like the hashtag was like blowing up. And so I went to all of my normal like entertainment sites that would normally report on that. And there was nothing. And then I go back to Twitter and that person had deleted their tweet because they got sucked into the hoax thing too. And the inclination is, what? And then you retweet it and you don't check to see if it's actually true.
Yeah. It was fake news.
It was fake news.
Yeah.
Well, because they did it with Will and Grace, right? Will and Grace is coming back for another season. Like, that's actually happening. So now people are like,
that on the news site.
Oh my God, Friends is getting another season. And I'm like, oh God, no.
Yeah. Well, I mean, makes sense. Twin Peaks is coming back. They're doing all this other stuff. So, hey, why not Friends?
Right.
Well,
right. And so, but it's so
Friends.
easy to get caught up in the hoaxes online and
it is.
Think it's real and retweet it. I've been caught in that stuff before. I'm a lot more cautious now about what I retweet until I actually read about it and like see it in more than one source.
Yeah.
So,
I always try to double check everything before I forward it, unless I know for a fact that it's real.
Yeah, like you saw it happen.
Yeah.
I actually saw this happen.
It's true.
Yeah. So, in any case, we're going to get out of here so that Raconin can get some sleep and I can get the show ready to post so it can go up and then I can go to sleep.
Yep. Which, unlike normally on Thursdays where I have the next day off, I still work through Saturday. So
yeah, you do.
Yeah, my weekends are now Sunday, Monday. So
now you really need to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, I actually get to sleep in like an extra 30 minutes because I don't have the travel time and I get to show up later. So it works out. It really does work out.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm cool with it.
So you wonderful people have a great week. Enjoy, and we'll see you next Thursday.
And if your mom is still around, wish her happy Mother's Day on Sunday.
Yes, and to all the moms in the chat room, happy Mother's Day to you.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy.
Thank you, mamas.
We love you, moms. We will see you guys next Thursday. Have a wonderful week. /moo, everybody.
/moo, guys. Have a good one.